In this video, I'll show you how to set up your apps in AVE Publishing. First, you will need to go to avepublishing.aquafadas.com and sign in. You'll start by first defining App Setup under Titles and Collections. Click on Titles and Collections. This section of AVE Publishing does not connect to iTunes Connect. It is simply the setup for your app through Aquafadas. I'll start by naming my app. I'll call this Aquafadas Digital Publishing. You'll notice that an identifier is automatically generated based on the name I gave the app. Typically, we use the reverse domain name structure for this ID. I'm going to change mine to com.aquafadasdigitalpublishing.aquafadas. Now I can select an icon. I'll select the Aquafadas logo. This icon is only used within our system to visually tell you which app you are working on. Next, I can pick the language for this app. This is the main language this title or collection will be published. Finally, you can choose whether it is a title or a collection. A title is usually published on a schedule, such as once a month, and is published through a single application. You can use a collection to publish multiple issues with no specific release schedule, such as books. This will be for a monthly newsletter setup. So I will choose title and monthly. If this was a one-time application of an app that would just have content published once, such as an app I created in AVE Reader or Remote Reader, you would choose collection. I can then pick all the categories that apply to my application. This is for Aquafadas' use and is not the metadata that will eventually be defined for your app through Apple. Next, you can add a localized name and description. Pick the language, type in the name of your app, and the description of your app. It is a good idea to store your app description in a text file since you will need to use it more than once. Click OK when you're done. Next up is issue types. If you are making a one-time app with content you will only publish once, such as AVE Reader or Remote Reader, you can just leave your issue type set to default and move to the next step. However, if you plan on selling your issues, and especially if you plan on selling them at different prices, I would recommend you define all your issue types right now. For example, this is a monthly newsletter, so I will add an issue type and call it January 2013. I will then add February 2013, and so on. You especially need to define issues if you plan on releasing your app with one free issue and one paid issue when it is submitted to Apple. These issue types are connected to the Publish section, which will be explained later. You can click OK once you're done.